Hello, so today I'm going to be talking about my recent past life regression, why I chose to do it, and the lessons that I've learned from it. Basically, it's about accountability for our actions, how we can carry over our emotional pain into our present life, but I will be touching upon sexual trauma. So, if you feel that you may be triggered by this, don't continue watching. Or if you're feeling strong enough, do so. But at least I've warned you. Just make sure that you're in a good space. Okay, so let's begin. So, welcome back. And first of all, let me just say, I am in a positive frame of mind, considering what I've just said. So, basically, I have a current problem of continually clenching my jaw. It's mainly worse at night, but I have found myself doing it in the daytime, especially if I'm concentrating hard on something. And although I am aware of it now so that I can stop myself from continual jaw clenching, it's quite remarkable for me in the sense that I do work with Reiki and tarot cards to try and lift the layers of debris, the emotional feelings, the trauma over our lifetime that we can suppress. And obviously, there is something that's hidden deep within me that's causing me to be going around all the bloody time. So, I thought, okay, let's try past life regression, self hypnosis through past life regression. So, what I discovered was it was approximately 1943 to 45. 1945. I'm not sure. The thing you'll find out if you ever do a past life regression, sometimes the information can be a bit hazy, but naturally we have filters. We filter emotions and feelings, and we have to because our we can't store every bit of information. So therefore, sometimes our memory can be distorted. As an example, just close your eyes and think back 2 weeks ago to this very day of the week, 2 weeks ago, this time, exactly 2 weeks ago, and see if you can recount every minute detail of what you was thinking, of what you was doing, who you was with, what you was saying, what you was feeling, because you will probably find it difficult unless something specific happened that heightens your emotions at that moment in time, and therefore you will remember it. And it's the same with our memories going back into past life regression. They can be vague, but it's important to retrieve the information from our subconscious and then journal about it, work with it following your past life regression so that you can find out the meaning, how it relates to you in the present. So, I was 20 years old. I was young and naive. Um, I think I was in Lincolnshire. My name was Ellie, farm girl, and it was near an air base. Well, it was American soldiers. It was a barn dance. And being a country girl, not used to drink, I had too much to drink. And I was flattered by the attentions of a American. And one thing led to another, and without going into too much detail, I had visions of me being, well, kind of tied up and gagged and taken. Okay. Um, I didn't experience any pain through it because you can disassociate yourself in a past life regression from the pain and the feelings. I didn't associate any pain. But what came through was shame, absolute shame from family members and people in the local village. And the person who did this to me, they were young. I don't think they realised fully what they were doing. Anyway, um, so I think that's, yeah, the reason why I clench my teeth. I've brought it through because I'm still carrying this shame with me that I felt. When I passed over in the past life, um, my lesson was that I needed to forgive. I needed to forgive myself for being naive, for getting drunk, for bringing shame on everyone else. And because I took that on, I never really lived my life. I never lived my life to the full. And do you know what? It wasn't a bad life. I had the support of a sister. I did have a son called Leonard from what happened, who I loved dearly, and he was accepted by everyone. And oh, yeah, loved him dearly. He was beautiful. And actually, he is my granddaughter in this present life, which is quite interesting. Um, I do recognize people from that past life who I associate with people in my present life. Anyway, one thing that come out of this is the repeating cycle in my present life. And yeah, quite similar situation occurred in my present life, and I've had to grow up with the consequences. But you know what? I'm more happy now that I started on my spiritual path. And this is where it gets really interesting, and this is where the universe is kind of working in synchronicity. I can't say that word. Anyway, so how bizarre is that? The lesson I learned: enjoy life. Did you see that orb then that came? Woo! Woo! No way. Anyway, get back to it. Enjoy life. Just enjoy life. It's not meant to be holding yourself back and feeling regret or holding on to any type of negative emotion, whether it's shame, whether it's um, doing silly things. And live your life for today. In that past life, I died following an accident at the age of 56. And yeah, I had a broken leg, and yeah, I died of infection. But I had found love, um, and I was surrounded by the people who really loved me, and in the healing life between lives in spirit. I let go of any regret, any remorse, and fully cleansed in the love. And I bring that back with me. And I recognize how I'm kind of like in the same position in my life now. I regret sometimes some of the things that I've done in my younger years. And yes, down through naivety, there's a lot of similar occurrences. Um, but, and I do know better than to, that I should let them go so that I can fully live and be happy and be present. But sometimes some things are easier said than done. Only human at the end of the day. Now, here comes the synchronicity bit. So I'm armed with this knowledge now, and I'm feeling really good. And Mark passed me a letter out of the post box just this morning, and it's the results from my diabetic eye screen the other day, and I am stage one it, diabetic retinopathy. Anyway, I've got it now. And they said, don't worry, this can be managed through controlling your sugar levels. Well, immediately I started going down the spiral. Oh, you deserve this. You should have been managing your sugar levels. You could have done better. And then suddenly I remember the experience that I've just had. So how can I be how can I practice my gratitude? How can I raise my vibration with this information? Now, yeah, obviously it's important that I sit with the news that I have been given today because it's a wake up call. And I'm grateful to have had this check, to have had this wake up call. Yes, I do Reiki. I practice Reiki. I live and breathe Reiki every day. However, yeah, probably the damage has already been done because I had a for decades I did not like who I was, which changed when when I kind of fell down with my general anxiety disorder. But here I am today, a different person. Life is so much happier. And this the timing of getting this letter in line with this past life regression is just really interesting. So I need to take accountability for my actions. I can't go back in time and change what happened. I can certainly learn from my actions and understand why I did some of the things that I did. And whether it was down to ignorance or lack of knowledge or doesn't matter, does not matter. This is about making the most of life while we have it. I mean, obviously, the thought flew across my mind, oh my gosh, what if you go blind? And then I started the potential of going down this spiral. Oh my God, I could go blind. Oh my God, I might not. I lose the house, won't be able to work. And stop, just stop. Just smile and enjoy life as it is. I've had the wake up call. So I can work on making sure that doesn't happen, which I could take accountability for my actions and live my life to the full. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen? But I'm not going to allow irrational thinking to stop me from enjoying life. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I've had my wake up call. So here we go. Taking accountability is actually reflecting on, okay, why did that happen? How and why did I respond that way? But how can I put that to bed and stop taking with me that negative energy, feeling sorry for myself, or um, with the teeth clenching? Ah, yes, because I felt such shame, and probably I didn't. Well, yeah, when you've got a low self opinion of yourself, um, no self love, why am I here? That type of thinking. I've spent decades thinking like that. Or we do keep our thoughts and feelings in, and sometimes we do put a face on to other people, and we could be, gosh, oh, anyway. Um, Life's about love. Life's about not being in here. Because, yes, we do create what we think, feel, and believe. I always say that. So, you know, going forward, yes, I well, I can do better with my diet if I'm being honest. I can do 100% better with cutting out chocolate. I know I've cut down a lot on the chocolate. I like chocolate. And yeah, it should have been Christmas. But I've had less chocolate than ever this Christmas. So I am on the right path. And that's where I think sometimes, you know, the damage may be done. But it's about sustaining the happiness, isn't it now? So, yes, well, I'm going to leave this one here, but it just brings up so many things about synchronicity of how would I have taken the news from the results of my diabetic eye screening if I hadn't done the past life regression this morning? Would I have had a time coping with it? Who knows? It's just fascinating the timing of that for me. And then, yeah, we'll have to see how I get on with my teeth clenching because I can't remember specifically clenching my teeth following the past life regression. Hmm, interesting. Right, so yes, I'm gonna leave that there. Um, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna say one more thing. I was repeating the patterns of my past life in this present life. I don't know if I just said that, but that's interesting. So I think that's where the element of karma comes in, and yeah, I must have, I must have chosen to come back and do the things that I have done so that I can learn my lessons. And oh, do you know what? I I feel good. I feel good. I'm not overly worried. At one time, I would beat myself up and call myself Ed. Yeah, I'm not going to say it out loud. I don't need to. Probably would have called myself a lot worse than that. Keep saying so I'm going now. Anyway, if you want to talk past life regression or anything, spiritual journey, if you would like to suggest a topic or ask me a question and I will answer it on my next